Hi everyone, it's April Rose and I am here trying something new. So the recipe that I made last time with that my family has lovingly now dubbed the Snapple-Doodle pies, the Snickerdoodle crust and the apple pie put together in the brownie pan. They love that so much, I decided I'm going to try a different rendition of that. So it is right now rhubarb season in Massachusetts, and what that means is I have a whole bunch of rhubarb in the freezer that I need to use up before I freeze more rhubarb and put it in the freezer for use over the winter. So I'm just going to use up some of that frozen rhubarb, and this time I'm going to make a rhubarb compote, and I'm going to put that again in the brownie pan. And I'm going to use lemon cookies, and we'll see how that comes out. So let's take a look at our ingredients. Cookies, we have half a cup of butter, 3/4 a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 egg from the ladies in the backyard. We've got a tablespoon of lemon extract, the zest of 1 lemon, a tablespoon of honey, 2 cups of flour, and then we have 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and then in this small one I have both a teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt, and then I have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. For the compote, I have the juice of 1 lemon, I have half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, half a cup of sugar, and 1.5 pounds of rhubarb that has been defrosted. I am a fan of whenever I cook something or whenever I bake something, I like stuff that I can just shove all in the blender or shove all in the mixer without having to worry about am I going to add the wet ingredients or then the dry ingredients or any of that stuff. So I am quite literally going to put all of my ingredients into this mixer and just throw the whole thing on. So here it all goes. You can see that I am using the beater attachment for my mixer. And everything, absolutely everything is just going into the pot. And this right here, this is the little measure-all. I love this thing right here. It's got my honey in it, and I can just turn it upside down and push. And notice that, look, it all came out. I didn't have to fight with it one bit. So let's spread that off. There we go. And then my egg from the ladies in the backyard. Okay, close that up. Bring that over here so you can see it a little bit better. And I've got this set to mix, and I'm just gonna hit start. I've got the time, and there it goes. So I've sprayed down my brownie pan with just some oil. And I'm using the extra large scooper and just taking my batter and throwing it in to this. And I have noticed that because I'm doing this recipe off the top of my head, where I've never done this before, rather, I do not have enough of the lemon cookie batter to go ahead and fill all of my wells, but that's okay. Put that over there. That just tells me in the future when I make this, I'm just gonna make more. Okay, so now I've got my boat press, and I've also sprayed down my boat press, and I'm just going to press it in and press it in. And I'm just gonna repeat this for every single one of these lovely little cookies that I'm making. And you can see how fast this is going with this boat press. It's so fast, so fast. Okay. give you an idea of what that looks like. You can see that. All right. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in the fridge so it has the opportunity to cool down. So I've set my rhubarb up on high heat and I'm bringing it up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, I'm going to let it simmer. I'm going to drop the temperature just a little bit and let it simmer for maybe about 10 minutes. The thing about rhubarb is that it's got a ton of water in it, and I don't want my compote to be too runny, so I'm just going to let some of that water simmer off. So you can see now that my rhubarb has gone about the consistency of applesauce. It's definitely boiled down a lot. I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. And mix that up. Now, this I'm going to stir constantly because now that I've added the extra sugar to it, I don't want it to start burning on the bottom. So I'm going to let this cook up for maybe another 3 to 5 minutes until it gets nice and thick. So this right now is not a very attractive color, and I'm thinking about just how it looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of red food coloring to it with the hope of bringing out more of a pinkish color. I know that from my experience with my family that if it doesn't look good, especially with my daughter, if it doesn't look good, she's not going to touch it. And who doesn't love something that just looks more attractive? So yeah, I'm just going to keep on adding a few drops of red food coloring until it starts to turn a pinkish color, because when we think of rhubarb, we think of red or we think of pink. We don't think of this this yellowish greenish color that so many times rhubarb actually is. So yeah, and then finally I'm just going to use my immersion blender and get out all the little chunks. You don't have to do that. I like to do it, again, because it just makes it a little bit more attractive, but it's certainly not necessary. When I say this compote is hot, I mean really hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and transfer this to a shallow dish and put it in the fridge a little bit. And the reason why I've decided to do this is because it is so hot that I'm afraid when I pour it into my cookies, into my cookie batter, that it's just gonna melt the cookies, and I do not want that. So going into a dish and going into the fridge until it at least stops steaming, because you can see this thing right here, super, super hot. Okay, so out of the fridge, I have my compote, which I'm just going to ladle into the top of each one of these. I'm just going to fill that right up. I'm definitely going to have way much more compote than I have need for. So what I'm going to do with it is I'm just going to freeze it. If this turns out to be some great success, and I think it will because it looks delicious, then I'll just have compote for next time I want to make it. And it'll make it so much faster. Because most of the time was spent making the compote. There we go, just fill up that last. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to have enough compote to do another batch, at least of 8. And into the oven it'll go. So my oven preheated to 375, and I'm just putting that on in the middle rack, and I'll bake it for about 15 minutes and we'll see where it goes. Alright, here we go. Let's take a look. There we go. Don't those look gorgeous? I'm gonna let those cool, and then later, give them a try. So I just wanted to show you how these came out. Look at those. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna steal one. I think I'm gonna go for this one. It's a little crumbly, but look at that inside. This is a nicer looking one. There we go. Look at how beautiful that came out. All right, here we go, moment of truth. So I've got just a little bit of the crust area. Wonderfully lemon. And there's a little bit of the rhubarb on it. And it's just a little bit tart and a little bit of sweet and a lot of good. So yeah, this total success. Definitely recommend it. Thank you for watching. Bye.